Welcome to another edition of Why I Joined eXp. Ben Archibald on the show. Ben.
I'm here.
So Ben, you have been just a year and a few days with eXp, actually first time agent, first organization with eXp. Tell me, why did you join eXp?
Yeah. Honestly, it was a great opportunity. So kind of the backstory to eXp and why I joined. So initially, Bryon and I were at Remax. That's when I was his assistant getting into the business. And I loved the idea of how eXp had stock options. Because when I first started, I was like dabbling in stocks, dove into eXp stock a little bit. And I loved the opportunity behind it, which is why I dove into it.
And that's cool. And Ben mentioned he was my assistant. Ben's kind of interesting. He kind of cold called me one day in October. And it was sort of into COVID, maybe a year or so into COVID. And then he sounded energetic and cool on the phone. I said, hey, come to my office and just chat with me for a week. And how was that?
It was great. Honestly, any new agent that I talk with, I tell them that is the best way and in my opinion, the only way to get into the business. Because the amount of new agents that are like, I've never done a deal, I've never done anything. How do I do a CMA? If somebody calls me telling me they want to list, what do I do? You have no idea. No course tells you how to talk or what to say. And so that's what it really showed me, and it was super valuable. It was insane.
And so you were really keen and just go and sucking up all this information, chatting. So after the first week, I kind of said to Ben, yeah, come chat with me. And then I said, just watch what I do. And then after a week of that, I kind of said, so Ben, are you ready to quit? Or like, is this so boring? Or what do you think? Do you want to keep at this? And you said, yeah, I want to. We kind of worked a little bit of a deal. And then Ben always kind of knew you would get your license, but you were a little bit reluctant actually in getting your license. Take us back there. What happened? Why?
So I was really reluctant to get my license because it's a lot of money right out the gate and there's no guarantees. You never have a guarantee. Like when you get your license, you're dropping $5,000-$6,000 to get your license initially. And on top of that, if you have bills and stuff, you have no guarantee that you're gonna make a deal in the first 6 months. You have no guarantee you're gonna make a deal in your first year. And so I was like, you know what? Why don't I just dive into this, really get a handle, a grip on everything, learn from Bryon, shadow you, and really do with the back end so that when I do feel like I'm ready, I can just dive into it.
And dive in he did. So you actually did your license really quickly. I think you're up the mindset, like you're just ripping through it like in a couple months. But what did it take, maybe 3 or 4 months? Like, wasn't that long?
Yeah, it was kind of evenings and weekends that I was working on
because
it.
You were actually working pretty much you're so excited about the business. You're pretty much working for me 7 days a week, like as an assistant somewhere, aren't you?
I loved it.
Like you were just like in it all the time.
I think I was at I was commuting. Keep in mind, I was commuting an hour to Calgary because I was living down by Vulcan at the time. And I was commuting an hour to Calgary, be at the office for like 8 o'clock almost every morning. And then we were working till like 3 o'clock, and then I'd go home, and then I'd try to work from home. Because I was just so invested. I wanted to learn everything about it. So yeah, it was my passion. It still is.
And then so through that process, actually, I left Remax. And like when, in the early months of you starting with me, the opportunity that I saw with eXp. And so we sort of transitioned together and rebranded. And then you got your license, I think, early June 2021.
Yep, I got my license in June. Well, fully officially licensed June 1st. Yeah.
And then, do we know your number exactly? Like, what do you have in closed and pending?
I'm positive I'm gonna go 30.
Yeah.
It's 30 or just over.
Good. So 30 in the first year. That's awesome. And to tell us a little bit about like what you seem like you're really kind of very interested in luxury.
Oh, I love it. But that's any agent, right? Any agent like sees selling Sunset and is like, I want to sell a $100 million house, right? But yeah, no, I love all real estate though. It's fun.
And so and we've had a little bit of a change recently in terms of there's my experience in real estate and what I've done for years, and you watch that mull back. And we're really good at kind of doing the things, the activities that we know bring business. But in the past 2-3 months, we've really been going full on TikTok.
Yeah.
How's it been?
I've been going both ways. It's going great. So one thing, I did go full on TikTok for like 2 months. Kind of left the old style behind. And honestly, it works. I know it does work, but it's a time game. And real estate, you cannot drop everything and just dive into something because it's your lifestyle. Like paychecks are 90 days out, typically, right? And it makes business. It makes business. It makes money the quick way, and it does really work. It does. It's been proven. So yeah, now I'm doing TikTok. I do a video a day on top of making one appointment a day. It's great.
And that's, we recently kind of said, what's the job? And
Yep.
what's the job? The job for Ben every day is to
Setting one appointment.
right, that's
Buyer,
what we do.
seller, anything.
So until an appointment's set, your job's not done. It's kind
Exactly.
of what we've talked about.
Yep.
Cool. And so, what's easy for you these days, man?
What's easy for me? Well, honestly, the entirety of it. I love it. It's real estate has turned into a passion because my background's a mechanic. My background's mechanic, cowboy kind of thing, and I always get bored of something and I always want to change it up. And real estate is always different every single day. There's always a new challenge. You're always trying to put out fires, make something work, trying to find an in between, find something to do for a workaround. And that's why I don't have serious challenges. I don't wake up and be like, oh my goodness, I have to do this today. Cold calling obviously is tough, but it's also fun once you get that call, right? Like it's difficult making those phone calls, but once you set that appointment, it's like you're on top of the world. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh my goodness, there you go, right?
Yeah.
So it's fun.
And and so in terms of your career, I think you're 21 now.
Yep.
21, great. You're young. I mean, the clients that you've been working with, they love you. I mean, every single client is like just talk raves about how good you've been. What do you attribute that to? Like, what do you think? What are clients, and you're dealing with, people my age? You're dealing with nobody your age yet. I don't think you've sold a house yet to anyone under 25, have you?
No, my youngest was like 28, 29, yeah.
And do you feel that your age is a barrier at all?
I used to. When I first got in the business, that was my biggest fear. Mm-hmm. Is who's gonna buy $1 million house from a kid that's 21,
yeah.
Right? That was my biggest fear. But no, it's true. You gotta show up like the professional. You gotta show up and be the professional. You gotta be knowledgeable. You gotta know what you're doing and know what you're talking about. And if you can present that, nobody cares.
Age doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No.
Good for you. And so what are some of your future goals? Where do you see yourself, like what's happening in your business? Where do you see yourself, I don't know, in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years? How's it looking?
1 year, keep grinding. 2 years, keep grinding. 5 years, I'm looking at, hopefully starting to get to the point where I can really develop the social media aspect and really generate that huge presence and that pipeline keeping going. And then ultimately my end goal is to be able to branch out to Vancouver, Toronto, California, and
Sweet.
Just be all over the place and, selling real estate, have that big team. And then my personal goal is in the span of 10 plus years, I want to start to divert from that into commercial.
Wow, that's
commercial,
fantastic.
like development, hotels, stuff like that.
And a big event planned for September. Ben's getting married?
Yes, September 24th.
Wow,
it's a big day.
That is so great. Well, Ben, it's been just a super pleasure working with you daily and weekly, and whenever we get together, it's always super fun. It's just a real pleasure to have you part of our team organization. Wishing you all continued best success. We're here for you, rooting. And any last comments, Ben? Any last takeaway? What would you like the audience to know?
What do I want the audience? Are we talking eXp or just the business in general?
Well, whatever. I mean, if you had a billboard in or out of the city, what would it say? Well, maybe to the, I guess in general, a life thing, or it could be real estate related.
Mine would be live life to the fullest. Don't look back and regret it, and just go for it. Go for what you want. Chase your dreams. Dreams are what the world goes round on, and you just gotta chase them. That's my thing. That's what I do with real estate, and that's kind of how I've been progressing forward. And that's how I met with Bryon and how our journey started. And second, eXp Realty, best place to go. There's so much opportunity there.
Ben, thanks for being on the show. You're a rock star. Let's continue it.
Let's do it.
Over and out.